So I consider Ryan an honorary member of the North Carolina podcasters cult, even though he himself isn't here. He has family here. And unfortunately, I know your grandmother who's 96 years old, had her motel destroyed in the recent storms, as did a lot of people in that area. And want to just show some, these are really terrible pictures.
All of those are condemned. Yeah.
So your grandmother's 96, and how long did she own the motel for?
She, um, I guess since she was in her 20s.
Oh my
Her husband
gosh.
had it. Her husband died. She's been running it since the 70s.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, there's 7 main villages on our island, and the ones that have been hit hardest are Rodanthe and Buxton. Buxton's what is the town where the lighthouse is so the main place, and all these houses are either physically destroyed or they're in the water and going to, they're useless, or they've been condemned. So a lot of people have nowhere to live. And, that the ignorant person will say, why would you build your house right next to the ocean? Like, well, they didn't. These houses are 30, 40 years old or even older, and the ocean wasn't there when those houses were built. This didn't happen in a day. The beach erosion has been steadily coming really since the Halloween storm in 1990. But it's not natural. It's there's a mixture of things that has caused this to happen. We've got the dredging of Oregon Inlet is causing the most erosion. Then you have the Park Service goes and burns vegetation, which is what holds dunes together. And then you had the Navy come in with dump trucks full of sand to fill in a swamp to build a base they no longer use that's now leaking oil, actually, and they never replaced it. And so when they did that, water started cutting in on that area. So they're messing with it. And the jetties are all broken. They won't let us repair them. As we have these environmental groups that are just want nature to take its course, and they don't care if people go homeless. They don't care if businesses go underwater. They don't care if the island's cut in half. They tried, well, they didn't just try. They shut the beach down completely for years over a piping plover bird. But the reality of what's going on is a Dukes of Hazzard situation where we have 6 of the 7 county commissioners live north of the bridge, and they're all motel owners and things, and they want to move tourist traffic from south of the bridge to where they live. So they're very happy to sign off on closing our beaches, very happy to let us go underwater. The road has been replaced many times. And you know how they say a bridge to nowhere? There's a dry bridge over Pea Island that goes over land, but there's nothing where it's needed. And no matter what we do, it's just on deaf ears. And we have all these people who assume it's an environment versus development thing that will side with environmentalists. Nobody's trying to develop anything. People are trying to save what's already there. It's most of Cape Hatteras is recreational park. And it's just sad as you had recreational park that you couldn't enter. So it de facto became just like an environmental zone, even though it's supposed to be a place for people to enjoy the beach. They shut it off for a bird. And then when they did that, the bird populations went down because when no people are in the park, all the predators returned and killed the birds. But they didn't care because it was never actually about the birds anyway. Piping plovers will nest on top of the food line. I mean, it was just a pretext. They did the same thing in Sandy Hook, New Jersey. Went down. It's an excuse. It's an environmental pretext for real estate and land manipulation. That's what it is. And it's gotten to the point now where it's not just a few motels having a fight every year and do it on their own. It's people's homes. And if you remember when they moved the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse, I actually was on the news about this, saying this. They had some chimney moving company out of New York. They got millions of dollars to pick up our lighthouse and move it back into the woods because it was being threatened by the Atlantic Ocean. Well, yeah, it is. But it would have cost a lot less to stabilize the beach than to pick up a lighthouse and move it. And what are you going to do with everybody's homes? Are you going to pick them up and move them further inland? And how much further inland can they go? The Pamlico Sound's right on our back. A lot of that
Well, what's
island
your
is filled
grandmother?
in.
Did your
Yeah,
grandmother
well,
live in the motel, or she has a separate
she has a
residence?
separate house near the Sound, but that was at the very end of her life. I mean, it's 96. She's watching everything she ever made and what she wanted to leave her kids and things just be destroyed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like last year, the front units got taken out, and the sewage and things that connect to them were taken out, so they became useless. And it just there's nothing we can do. Like we are physically being annihilated, and North Carolina won't even fix jetties that already exist. And it's going to cost way more to react than it would be to prevent. But for a long time, we had a state senator named Mark Bassnight who owned a construction company. So every time the road got washed away, he'd pay himself to replace it. And it was like clear profiteering. And they would just do this because there was nowhere, social media and stuff, like the biggest name on there was myself, and I'm banned on everything. You go to the county commissioner, we'd have one vote. There used to be 6 county commissioners. Now there's 7, but they still have 6 out of 7. There's nothing we can do. It's a Lincoln style situation. A guy gets elected when he's not even on the ballot in southern states. We can do everything. We can be completely right. The tourists are on our side. They enjoyed our area. They want to go to the beaches down there, and they want to preserve this place, but the state doesn't seem to care. And it's financial suicide, because over a third of the tourism to North Carolina is the Outer Banks. And you're going to lose Hatteras, and you're going to lose Ocracoke. And they split us into different counties. We're in Dare, they're in Hyde. So we can't even unify between the islands on this. We got to go appeal to 2 different boards, and they're just not the brightest crowns in the box, put it that way.
Do you have other family there to look after your grandmother?
My twin brother lives there. My other brother lives there. My aunts, uncles, and most of my family's in Buxton, in that town. But my twin couldn't live there. He had to go up the beach because there's no housing for our generation. Like, it is gone, and now there's even fewer housing. That's it. And you can't get affordable housing on the island. Nobody wants to invest on a place that's washing away. They're not going to build anything new, So we have what we have and trying to preserve it. Now that's gone. Like, we're going to have one of the 3 jetties fixed in March. That's what we've been pushing on all these meetings. I don't know if they're going to make it to March. They got to get through the rest of hurricane season. Hurricane hasn't even hit. Hurricanes were hundreds of miles away, and just that was dropping houses in the water. They're gonna lose billions, and people are gonna die. And I just want everyone to know that this isn't something we started talking about this year. Every year we ask for beach nourishment. Every year we explain to them, if you keep dredging on Oregon Inlet, you're going to make Rodanthe go underwater. And they just do it because, we're up against a bunch of Yankee millionaires that have their second houses in Pirates Cove there in Manio, and they want a little shortcut so they can take their yacht out once a year to go through Oregon Inlet and parade around. They don't even use their boats half the time. It's not for commercial fishermen and wanchis and stuff. That is like such a small fraction. But if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to do beach nourishment on the other side, because you are causing the damage. And they don't care. And I guarantee you, once things get condemned and fall, then suddenly the law will change. The beach will get nourished, and it'll have new ownership from, people from New Jersey and stuff that go in there and buy their 3rd house that they stay in 2 weeks out of the summer, and then it's empty the rest of the year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a story we know all too well with the Lahaina and Asheville. That's one thing that was insane to me, is that when it struck, they were just out in the open saying we won't have the highways fixed until 2025. Just like,
yeah.
Okay. Seems like past generations could do a lot more and a lot quicker, but now we're just kind of just letting it all fall apart.
It's happening in Maui too. Like they take advantage of disasters, and then just for real estate tycoons.
Disaster economics is a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
People specialize in that.